Welcome everybody. We're going to go through a Hatha. We're going to start on our seats this morning. So it's up to you how you choose to start in terms of what seated position you're going to start in. You're welcome to sit on a block like I have chosen. The block just helps support. It actually helps lift a bit of extra weight out of the body. Sitting on your bottom, cross-legged, not using the block, anything that works for you. Wherever you have chosen to go, just closing the eyes and bringing ourselves into our practice, onto your mat. Taking yourself out of your day, out of your thoughts, out of your mind. Closing the eyes and just feeling the inhales and the exhales through the nostrils. As the mind becomes clearer or starts to clear, see if you can notice some tension leaving the shoulders. Finding a slight constriction at the back of your throat. So you're looking for your ujjayi breath. The constriction causes a slight sound, a raspy noise as the breath moves through the body. We're always looking to deepen our breath to actually start utilizing or using it all, the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic breath naturally releases, just helps us relax. And then we're slowly just going to bring ourselves back into the space, just moving in any way that feels natural. Fingers, wrists, neck. And then if you have used a block, you're going to remove that prop. And we're going to start in child's pose. So you're going to make your way down to a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touch, knees are nice and wide. Forehead is going to come down to the mat. Then we'll make it a little more active by walking the hands further away from the body, just driving them forward, grounding through your palms, maybe even lifting up through the fingertips, just feeling that connection. Noticing your elbows will have naturally lifted, and then think about drawing your shoulder blades down your back at the same time you're reaching forward. Inhales will lengthen you, and on the exhale, maybe there's a little more space for your bottom to come closer and closer to your heels. And then releasing that stretch. And we're going to take this stretch to the side body. So we're going to walk our hands off the mat onto the left side. And then we're going to drop down through the forehead. Make sure that the weight is still evenly coming down through your hips here. You're just looking to get a deeper stretch through the right side of the body. And then slowly coming back through center and continuing the other way. So the hands are going to come off the mat on the right side. Drop down. Breathe, lengthen, enjoy this stretch. back through to center. Just drop down, just a breath, just feel yourself release and relax. And then we're slowly going to come up onto our hands and our knees. We'll come through a couple rounds of cat and cow. Use your breath, feel yourself drop. Take the gaze up. And then on the exhale, feel yourself round into it. Inhale, drop the belly. Think about a cat, a nice full stretch here through the spine. And on the exhale, rounding it up. Inhale, stretch. And release. And then we'll come into a neutral spine. We're going to curl our toes under here and make our way into our first downward dog. Grounding through the palms, taking your bottom up nice and high, and just walking the legs. Feet stay about hip distance apart. Breathing through the tension, the sensations. Just play with the movement. Think about your inhales, lifting your sits bones up higher and higher. And on the exhales, you're drawing down through the heels. Looking for a nice engagement, a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. Becoming a beautiful upside down V. If you're really tight, especially through the lower back, you're just going to bend your knees here. It's going to give you more space to move into. And we're slowly just going to walk our hands to the back of the mat. And we're going to find ourselves in a forward fold. Just dangling here, releasing your hands. If your hands can easily touch the mat, you're going to flip your palms over, just making sure there is no tension in these hands and the shoulders, any weight. It might feel nicer to grab for opposite elbows. Might be nice to gently rock. Listen to your body. Maintain the beautiful breath. You can now feel your belly touching your thighs. And on the exhale, you feel the belly come away. And then coming back to center, if you have the elbows grabbed, just releasing. Nice bend in the knees, and we'll bring ourselves all the way up on the inhale. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Take a breath, find length. Inhaling all the way up, palms touch, gaze follows. And a beautiful swan dive, pushing through that molasses, anything thick that slows us down. Inhales to a flat back, think about pushing back, finding a stretch, letting it go. Inhaling all the way up, really feel your breath move through the body. Exhales are just as active. Stretch it out. And down. Couple more, nice and deep on the inhale. Long on the exhale. Inhale up. Coming all the way up, inhaling. And on the exhale, just taking your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Take the arms straight out. We're going to make our way into chair. Keeping the fingers nice and close today. Grounding through the heels, maybe lifting the toes. Think about lifting up and opening. And on the exhale, drawing yourself back. Inhale, lift. And exhale as we sit. Imaginary block between your legs. So your legs are aiming towards each other, but they're not actually moving. They're staying in line. Think about lengthening through the front body, maybe coming lower. Gently releasing, forward fold. And then we'll make our way into a balancing posture. So we're going to make our way into tree. We're going to start by grounding down through the right foot and drawing up through the left. You're going to play with coming deeper, just making sure there's no weight being pushed into your knee. Think about your hips staying open. Keeping your hands on your hips is actually a wonderful gauge as to where the hip has gone. The left hip wants to come up. See if you can draw it down in line with the right. Hands can always come to heart center. You can open. Always remember it's your practice. What would your body like today? Every inhale lengthens the spine. And every exhale, you're going to feel yourself ground. Releasing the hands, drawing the knee forward, letting it go. Take a moment in mountain to feel yourself engage and release. Use the breath. Inhales open us. And then the other side, so the hands to the hips. And then we play with drawing your right foot up. And again, if you're coming up higher into that thigh, make sure you're actually in the thigh or at least away from the knee joint. Always noticing if you're breathing, if you're allowing the body to round. Breath is what helps us get stronger. Gently taking the hands to the hips, bringing the knee forward and releasing. Inhale here and let it go. One more, inhaling and releasing. We're going to inhale the arms all the way up, gaze follows. Nice and strong on our swan dive. Flat back and down. Inhaling all the way up for our crescent moon, interlacing the fingers, releasing the shoulders. Inhale as we come up. Exhale, taking it to the right. Really see if you can bring your entire focus to the left side body here. So you're firmly grounding down through the left heel. You're lifting up through the left side. You're also lifting up through the right side. And every exhale has the potential to take you deeper. Visualizing the breath moving through that side of the body. Inhaling back to center. And let it go on a swan dive. Nice flat back. And down. Inhaling all the way up. Interlacing the fingers, non-dominant grip. Release the shoulders. Find more length. And on the exhale, taking it left this time. Think about your right side body. Feel the breath. See if you can feel this from your toes to the tips of your fingers. Inhaling back up. And swan dive. Nice flat back. And down. We're going to take our hands to the mat. We're going to slowly walk ourselves into a downward dog. So just finding your dog, always recognizing that there is never any rush. Listen to your body. Maybe walking the knees a few more times. Maybe just firmly grounding down through your heels. Maybe playing with bending the elbows, allowing the chest to come closer and closer to your thighs. Breathing. We're going to come through some modified flows here. So we're going to bring ourselves forward into a nice plank. Think about shooting out through the heels grounding through the palms, lifting through the shoulder blades. And then gently dropping your knees down. On the exhale, using your triceps. Keep your elbows nice and close, dropping down. Inhale to a baby cobra. And on the exhale, grounding, lifting into a modified downward dog. So the toes curl, the weight comes back. Take a breath. And then move with the inhale. Bring yourself forward, modified plank. Exhale. Inhales, lift. And exhale, so we come all the way back. It should be very fluid, very strong. Take a breath. Inhale forward and down. Inhale into baby cobra. And exhaling all the way back. Take a breath. One more time, coming forward and down. Inhaling up and back. Take a breath. And then we're slowly going to bring ourselves forward again. Dropping down, but we're going to stay down. We're going to take a moment, take the palms beside the body, palms faced up, and dropping down through the right ear. Allow yourself to release, feel the shoulders relax. Play with dropping that ear or grounding it into the mat. And then gently just switching ears, so coming through center, not rushing, and then dropping down through the left ear. Noticing right away the different sides of the body or the different sensations. Slowly coming back through the center. We're going to make our way into Sphinx here. So we're going to draw the shoulder or the elbows underneath the shoulder blades. Palms are down. You're firmly grounding down through your hands and through your forearms here. Think about drawing your shoulder blades together to allow the chest to open even more. If you're really tight, you're going to play with walking your hands further away. If you have more space, you're going to draw your elbows in closer. If this is uncomfortable through your lower back, you're welcome to take your feet about mat distance apart as well. It might help release some tension. There is no activation in the legs. The entire stretch is coming through the front side of your body. Grounding down through your pelvis, lifting up through the front, taking your gaze up higher and higher. Wherever your gaze goes, your body follows. And then we're slowly going to make our way down, stacking palms on top of each other, forehead releases. Maybe you bend up through the feet, through the knees, and gently windshield wash. Stretch the shoulders a bit now, so we're going to come up through center. We're going to extend it through the right hand, have a look at it. It should come straight out from your shoulder. And then dropping it down and lifting your body weight up and over onto the right shoulder blade. Left hand can stay on the mat. Left leg can tent behind you. Anything that feels good to you. Everyone has different sensations and we're all tighter in different places. If you have a lot of space, you're also welcome to take your right hand behind your back as if you were binding. Maybe your gaze can go up a little bit higher. Again, just breathing into the tightness. And then slowly coming back through to center. Just take one moment here, hands stacked, forehead releases, let it go. And then slowly making your way to the other side. So the head comes up, the left hand goes out. Have a gander at that hand. The hand comes straight out from the shoulder. And then dropping your weight onto the left side. Probably quickly noticing that this side is either tighter or feels much better than the other side. Again, hand can go behind you as if you're binding, but that's only if it's available to you. Most of us are very tight through the shoulders, very normal. And then slowly coming back to center. And again, one last time, stacking your palms and releasing the forehead. And then we're slowly going to bring ourselves back up, coming into a downward dog. So just lifting up in any way that feels good to you, maybe pushing back, stretching, curling the toes, and finding your way into that dog. Walking it out. And then we're going to slowly walk the hands up to, the feet up to meet the hands. Taking a moment in your fold, feet are about hip distance apart, and we're just dangling again. You might be way up here. Nothing wrong, your fold, your body. And then we're going to take the hands down to the mat in front of the feet, and we're going to take a generous step back with the right foot and lower the right knee. We're going to make our way into a low lunge here, so uncurling the toes and just walking your hands up to your thigh, interlacing the fingers. If this is too much on your right knee, you're welcome to curl the back toes under and walk the knee further away. It'll actually allow the hips to open a little more. Breathing into that sensation, most likely a really nice tugging sensation through the front of the right hip. Firmly grounding down through the top of your right foot. It'll help you stay balanced, help keep the weight down the center of the body. And then we'll slowly drop ourselves down. We're going to curl under through the back toes and lift that knee up and come into a full runner's lunge here. So your versions are going to be to stay exactly where you are. Hands are tented down and your gaze is coming forward. If you're feeling pretty good, you can play with bringing yourself up, hands back onto that thigh. If you want to open up, you're coming a little more forward and really grounding down through the ball of your right foot. Still breathing. And then gently taking the hands down in front of you, and we'll step our right foot forward to meet the left. Inhaling all the way up. Find a bit of release there. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling here. Inhaling all the way up. Nice swan dive. Flat back. And down. Taking your hands down again to the opposite side. Taking a generous step back with the left foot. Slowly allowing the left knee to come onto the mat, uncurling the toes. and bringing yourself up to the right thigh. And again, if the back leg is not really comfortable, I'm curling the toes and walking the knee a little bit further back. Breathing. Pushing down through the top of your left foot, feeling yourself lift to keep the hips in line. And then gently touching down with the hands, curling the back toes, so we're coming into the full version of our runner's lunge. And again, you can stay here, fingers tented, gaze forward, play with coming up, or play with opening. Wherever you've chosen to go, you're breathing. You can feel the breath move through the entire body. You're not tense in any way. One more inhale. And then slowly touching down with the hands and bringing your left foot forward, forward fold. Inhaling all the way up. Feel the release. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling. We'll take the hands to the hips. We're going to make our way into warrior one here. So we're going to take a generous step back with the right foot, finding your 45-degree angle. Find the lunge, hips stay forward, opening, drawing down through the shoulders, and maybe your gaze can go up. Think about staying active through the front of the body. The more we can zip up through the abs, the stronger we'll feel through the lower back and stop the compression. Gently coming forward, hands will touch down. We're going to kick up through the back foot and make our way into standing splits here. So your hands are staying down, you're lengthening, breathing. If you have more space and you have more places to go, you'll feel this right away. As long as your standing leg is straight, you can play with grabbing onto your left ankle. Maybe think about taking your right foot up higher and higher. Maybe play with taking both hands up behind the thigh. Think about lengthening through the front of the body, through the chest. So we're not rounding, we're lengthening. That's what gives us space to move into. And then slowly take the hands down, dropping your right foot beside the left. Inhale, lengthen, and let it go. Inhaling all the way up. And hands to heart center. Take a breath. We're going to make our way onto warrior one. Hands on the hips again. Generous step back with the left foot this time. Find that position. So you're lunging, but you're 45 degrees and grounding through the outside edge of your foot. Lifting, yet drawing down through the shoulders at the same time. Feel the breath move through the body. Taking the hands down, dropping them down, coming into standing splits on this side. So you're really driving up through the back foot. Maybe your foot is flexed. Maybe your toes are pointed. Making sure you're breathing. Think about the inhales lengthening. And on the exhale, maybe you can bring your belly and your nose closer to your standing leg. Maybe you want to play with the balance. Gently dropping down through the hands. Gently allowing your left foot to come beside your right. Inhale to a nice flat back and let it go. Inhaling all the way up. Feel the stretch. And hands to heart center. Inhaling. Taking the hands to the hips, we're going to make our way into warrior two. So we're going to take a generous step back with the right foot again, but this time your right foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat, but you're firmly grounding down to the outside edge of your foot, bringing yourself lower and lower, keeping the body down the center. Just play with the feeling of drawing down through your pelvic region here. It will help you keep the torso stacked on top of the hips. When you're ready, you open. Palms down, palms up, whatever feels good in your shoulders. Find the breath. Close the eyes. Flipping your palm up, coming through exalted. So your left hand is reaching up and back. Your right hand can drape down. Maybe you want to take it behind your back for a half bind. Nice breath. Slowly coming back up. Straightening the front leg. We're going to make our way into triangle here. So drawing forward and then cartwheeling down. So you're reaching up as much as you're reaching down, and you want to really think about your hips staying on top of each other. So a lot of times we strain to come all the way down, but it actually allows the right hip to drop. We want to keep things stacked. Lengthen out through the front of the body, reaching in opposite directions. And then slowly coming back up, hands to the hips, dropping into the lunge, opening up. Taking the hands to the hips, straightening up, toes in one direction now, so the feet are parallel with the outside edges of your mat. Inhale, find length, and on the exhale, make your way over with a nice flat back. As you drop down through the hands, make sure the spine stays nice and long. Maybe you can drop down a little lower through the crown of your head. Maybe you can bend your elbows. Just think about lengthening and breathing. It's not about how low you can come. It's about finding space that allows you to come lower. Breathing. We tend to stop breathing. And then we'll slowly come up with a nice flat back. Just surfing our feet forward. And stepping the right foot up to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Take a breath. And then we'll make our way through that on the opposite side. So taking a generous step back with your left foot, find your warrior two. Always remembering no rush. So you're lunging, your right knee is staying on top of your right ankle. Your left foot is driving back, and the pinky toe is grounding into the mat. And then you've got that imaginary weight pulling you down through the center, through your pelvis. Helps keep the body in line. We tend to really want to come forward. We want to keep everything down the center, and then open. Breathing into the tension.
variations. Gently flipping your right palm up and coming through exalted. Again, taking yourself up and back, hand down, or maybe hand for half bind. Coming back to center. Straightening your front leg, we're going to make our way into triangle. So bringing yourself forward and then just cartwheeling down. And again, think about space through the front of the body. Notice if your left hip stacked or it went forward. That's really what's going to determine how far down your right hand comes. Maybe your gaze can go up. Maybe you can smile. Maintain that beautiful breath. Slowly cartwheeling back up, finding the lunge. Taking the hands to the hips, straightening up, coming forward. And this time we're going to come into hammock. So the feet are parallel with the edges of your mat again. It's up to you the distance between your feet. They can walk in, they can go farther. Inhales, lengthen. Nice flat back as we make our way down. This time when the hands touch down, walk them forward as you can comfortably come. And then think about the front of your body becoming a hammock. So you're actually going to drop down. See if you can breathe entirely into the shoulders and the chest. Find length. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves back to about 90 degrees. We're going to add a twist here. So we're going to take our left hand to the center of our body. Palm can be flat, fingers can be tented. Right hand to right hip. Inhales, lengthen. And on the exhale, you're stacking your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder. Arm can always extend if that feels better to you. Think about your sacrum staying flat though. So the twist is coming from the upper body only. Every inhale we lengthen, and on the exhale you may be able to twist a little bit more. And then slowly coming back to center, switching hands. Right hand takes the place of the left, left hand up, find length, and then the twist. Slowly coming down, walking your hands to the front of the mat, surfing your feet, and we'll make our way to downward dog again. So just walking the feet here. Slowing the breath if it's picked up, finding the breath if you've lost it. And then we're slowly going to walk our hands and our feet together on our mat. And we're just going to bring ourselves down onto our bottom. We're going to stretch out through the legs a little bit more. So we're going to start here with the left leg extended. Right foot coming into the left thigh. The left leg is active, so you're pushing down through your heel, you're drawing your toes in towards the body. You're going to take your left forearm onto that extended leg, beside you, wherever feels good. And then think about lengthening. So the inhales, we lengthen through the front of the body. And on the exhale, maybe your left shoulder come back a little bit more. Maybe your hand comes up, over. Think about your body and how you can get a deeper stretch. Maybe your gaze can go up. And then gently rolling yourself forward, let the release go, slowly rolling up. So take a moment to let go of that leg. We want to make sure the hamstring is no longer engaged. So maybe just rolling out through the ankle. And then take a moment to take the circle in the opposite direction. And then switching sides. So your right leg extends, your left foot comes in. Find the engagement first. So the heel is pushing down, the toes drawing in towards your face. You're going to take your right forearm down onto the thigh, onto the floor, whatever feels good to you. Inhale to lengthen. And on the exhale, maybe you can find a little bit more of a stretch. Feel the breath. And then slowly releasing, rolling forward, letting it go, and rolling up. Take a moment to release the right leg. Make those circles in the ankle. And then taking the circles in the opposite direction. Drawing the soles of your feet together, far away from the body, and just rolling down. Hands can go underneath the legs. We can grab onto the feet if that's available, and just allow yourself to round in. Slowly coming back up. We're going to cross the legs here and stretch the shoulders a little bit more before we come down. So we're going to take the arms up on the inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to drop your right arm underneath your left arm and find the bind. So your palms come together, your forearms come together, and your elbows come nice and high. On the exhale, the forearms come away from the face, but the elbows stay up nice and high. If the bind is not available to you, you're going to grab onto opposite shoulders. Your elbows are still going to come nice and high. You're going to think about drawing the shoulder blades apart. Most of us are very tight through the shoulders, as I've already said. Sometimes these postures just reinforce how tight we are. Breathe into the tension. And then gently let that go, dropping the hands down and just rolling the shoulders in any way that feels natural. Maybe the neck. And then taking your hands behind you, just switching the cross of the legs. Taking the leg that was on the bottom is now on the top. Taking the arms back up on that inhale. Exhale, the left arm this time comes under the right. Find your bind on this side, or grab for opposite shoulders. No matter where you are, the elbows are coming up, and maybe you're taking your hands away from your face. And then gently letting that side go. And again, just rolling through the shoulders. And then we're slowly going to make our way down onto our backs. We're going to come into bridge here. It doesn't really matter which way you go. Drawing down through bridge, or through just on the spine, lying down, gently windshield washing from right to left. And then we'll slowly make our way there. So we'll draw in through the heels. They're firmly grounding down and they're about hip distance apart. Taking your hands beside the body, palms face down, grounding up and back. Walking your shoulder blades underneath your chest. Maybe staying here with the hands down, maybe TPing your hands and pushing down through the elbows, maybe choosing to bind underneath and pushing yourself up. Just choosing what feels good in your body and helps you find more length through the front body, because this is a spine posture. So we're grounding through the heels and we're lifting. Your hips here are actually aiming towards about where the wall and the ceiling meet on the wall behind you. The weight is predominantly coming into your shoulders. That's why we draw them underneath the chest. You breathe here. Think about it playing with your glutes. You can engage, you can release. You'll notice the difference. See where your knees are. So we're not allowing the knees to fall in towards each other. There's an imaginary block behind them or between them. And then as we make our way down, we do so very, very slowly, always respecting that spine. Touching down at the bottom and just gently windshield washing. We're going to make our way into thread the needle here. So if you use a strap for this, you're welcome to grab your strap now. Drawing up through the right foot and then taking the activated leg down and over the left thigh. Taking your hand between the space you've created, interlacing your hands on the back of the thigh. And again, if you don't have a lot of space and you use the strap or you find yourself rounding to get there, the strap just goes on the back of your left thigh. If you come here very easily, shoulders are down, sits bones down, tailbone is down, you're welcome to play with grabbing onto the front of your shin. But you must be able to draw your shoulder blades back down. You must be able to keep the spine entirely on the mat. There's really never any benefit to rounding into something just so you feel you're coming deeper. We're looking for the stretch to initiate through the spine. Once the spine is long, we get a better stretch through the hips. Breathing into the tension. Most people sit way too much. This is extremely tight. So we're just breathing into what's available. Where can you find a little more space? Where is the tension? And then slowly releasing on this side, taking both of your feet down, gently windshield washing. And then we'll make our way onto the opposite side, so coming back through neutral, pointing up through the left toes, drawing down through those toes, dropping the activated leg down, knee away from the body. Hand through the space you've created, using your strap, the back of your thigh, or maybe you can grab onto your shin. Again, notice your spine. Respect the contact of the body with the mat. Feel the breath moving through the body. Direct your breath to your tight areas. And then gently letting that go. Both feet onto the mat, gently windshield washing. And then we're going to bring both of our feet up towards the ceiling. Just come a few breaths into legs up a wall. So legs up a wall is a very neutral position. Some people's toes are going to point.
Some people's toes naturally drop down. You're just going to allow your legs to be natural here. Just enjoying the sensation of the blood draining. And then taking the hands up as well, drawing down through the shoulders. So palms are facing each other, fingers are wide, and we're just allowing the blood now to drain through all our extremities. And then gently releasing, not moving quickly, very slow and gentle. Once you touch down, just enjoy those sensations. Maybe windshield washing after a moment. We're going to come through a round of happy baby when you're ready, drawing back to your center, drawing both of your knees in towards your armpits. So now you can either grab onto the backs of your thighs. If you have a lot of space, the legs come up about parallel. The feet are active as if you're pushing into the ceiling. And now again, you can grab onto the backs of your thighs. Maybe you can walk up a little more. Feel the shoulder blades as you start to move here. If you can easily grab to the inside or the outside of the feet, you're welcome to come there. Otherwise, you're grabbing onto something that's easily accessible. Again, we're looking for length through the spine first. It's going to help us come deeper. If you do have the feet, this becomes extremely active. You're pushing your hand or your feet into your hands, but you're drawing down through the hands at the same time. So there's an opposing force there. The more you oppose, the more you're going to feel this through the spine and through the hips. Maybe you prefer the rocking, maybe you prefer staying neutral. It's your body, listen to it. What does it require? If you have a lot of space, maybe you want to play with drawing the knee or the feet even wider. You'll know where you can come here. Your body will tell you pretty quickly. And then gently letting that go. Feet down, gently windshield washing. And then we'll take the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to come nice and wide when you're ready. Supta Baddha Konasana, that reversed butterfly. Maybe your hands come onto your inner thighs for a little extra weight. Maybe you want to stretch the shoulders a little bit more, so we take the arms overhead. Close the eyes and just feel the breath move through the body. Feel the nostril breath, feel the breath move, and then feel it glide down through the torso, maybe all the way into your pelvic region. Once it's in the pelvic region, you can find the rotation, which allows the thighs to open a little bit more. And then we'll slowly take our hands to the outsides of the thighs and close them up like a book. One more time, windshield washing, coming into our spinal twist. Gently coming through center, gently allowing the right leg to come back over the left thigh, allowing both of your legs this time to fall towards the right side. Taking your arms out from the shoulders, palms down. If you have a lot of space, you can play with walking your bottom foot farther back, forward, just moving in any way that feels good to you or finds a better stretch for you. And then slowly coming back up through center, readjusting in any way that feels natural. And then when you're ready, the left ankle is going to come over the right thigh, and both of your knees are going to drop down towards the left. You're going to take your arms back out from your shoulders and your gaze away. And again, you're going to walk yourself into this in some way that feels better in your body. And slowly coming back through the center one last time. Moving again in any way that comes natural, maybe it's wind chill washing. And then releasing in your version of final Shavasana. So most likely just taking your feet nice and wide, mat distance, maybe even farther. Palms beside the body, palms faced up. Walk your shoulder blades underneath your chest and tilt down through your chin. Close the eyes. Take a few more deep breaths through the nostrils. And then gently allowing the body to resume its natural breathing. And then either choosing to come out of this or stay exactly where you are for as long as feels good to you. I'd just like to take a moment to thank you for practicing with me. I always encourage taking a moment just to thank your body for the miraculous device that it is and for carrying you through your day. Namaste.